Breaking news appeared on the same day the Attorney General William Barr was dismissed. FBI Texas Raiders Special Force Ranger U.S. Marshal Justice Department investigated SolarWinds headquarters in Austin, Texas. SolarWinds is a Texan tech company that sells technology to sensitive targets. They have customers include the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps, as well as the U.S. Department, the U.S. Department of Defense, the U.S. Department of the Homeland Security, the USPS, and the U.S. Department of Justice. They also have other major companies among their customers, such as telecommunications companies worldwide, 425 of the world's top 500 companies, 5 major accounting offices in the US, and 100 universities around the world. The company offers the management software called the Orion Network. However, SolarWinds was attacked by foreign hackers and their firewall was penetrated. And also FireEye, the largest cybersecurity company in the US, was also hacked a week ago. SolarWinds states that they are working with FireEye, the FBI, and other intelligence agencies on this issue. Mainstream media, including the Washington Post, have reported that the Kremlin-controlled Cozy Bear hacking unit carried out extensive intelligence operations against the government agencies, including the U.S. Treasury Department and U.S. Commerce. It was also reported that Russian hackers were overseeing the 2016 National Democratic Convention as well as the Wuhan Pneumonia Vaccine Institute, but the Kremlin denies the allegations. However, I got other reports on this, not just to those published by the mainstream media. This incident started between March and May 2020 when malware was installed on SolarWinds system and contaminated Orion. And what is really remarkable is that Dominion was also a SolarWinds customer. Dr. He-Ching Lian, a famous Chinese current affairs critic, made this point. SolarWinds' major shareholder is Silver Lake Partners, an investment company investing hundreds of billions of dollars in China. Silver Lake Partners also has a long-standing partnership with an investment company called the Carlyle Group behind the Dominion. Steve Owens and William Kennard, the senior members of the Dominion's parent company, Staple Street Capital, worked for the Carlyle Group. Silver Lake Partners are also closely related to Jack Ma's Ant Financial. In addition, Egon Durban, a board member of Silver Lake Partners, is a member of Twitter's board of directors. And as you already know, Twitter has been actively blocking information against Biden this year. Glenn Hutchins, co-chair of the Brookings Institution, is also co-founder of Silver Lake Partners. And Ximing Jie, the daughter of Xi Jinping, was also educated at the Brookings Institution. Because of this, the analysis seems more convincing that the hacking was not a Russian or Iranian cyber attack, but a Chinese cyber attack related to Dominion. Apollo newspaper and overseas Chinese news outlets said the incident was directly attributable to the Chinese Communist Party. Analysts say Iranian hackers have poor technical skills, and Trump's relationship with Putin is not that bad either. So it is an inconclusive analysis that is unlogical that this incident was committed by Russia. This is a completely different angle than what the mainstream media in the United States reports. December 14th was a poll day for the Electoral College of every U.S. state. The result of the polls will be sent to the Congress on January 6 for final certification. All mainstream media are now reporting that Biden has been confirmed as the next president. And as we already know, the polls for the U.S. Electoral College has already been completed. On December 15, Biden gave a speech in which he said his victory was confirmed by the poll in the Electoral College. And in this situation, people would think that President Trump couldn't turn the tables because the electoral have already voted. But there was an unprecedented situation for this. Democratic aside, Republican electors from Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, and even New Mexico voted for President Trump. The total numbers of polls from these 7 states is 84. Although both Republicans and Democrats voted for a different party at the same time, Biden officially announced that he won with 306 polls. However, also based on this calculation, Trump's electoral are also 316, including 84 from the 7 states. In this situation, Trump has 3 options to choose now. The first is litigation. The point is to keep filing lawsuits and litigation as he has done so far. The second is Congress, which will be held on January 6. On this day, both Republicans and Democrats will conduct Q&A negotiations on the result of the state poll and decide whether to reject or pass the elected polls. If Trump's or Biden's votes are less than 270, the House of Representatives elect the president, and the vice president is elected from the Senate under the 12th Amendment to the United States Constitution. The third possibility is the declaration of the emergency power of the president martial law. It is planned to mobilize the military to investigate the truth about the election and arrest traitors. This would of course be the worst-case scenario, as the entire United States would be divided at the moment martial law is pronounced. President Trump's opportunities are dwindling. After the dismissal of Attorney General William Barr, the SolarWinds hacking incident may unfold another clue of the overseas countries' participation in the election. Now everyone is paying attention to President Trump's reaction on December 18, which is exactly the 45th day after the date of the election, and on that day an official emergency ordinance can be issued. However, CBS reported on the 16th that John Ratcliffe, director of the National Intelligence, said there was interference in the elections from China, Iran, and Russia in November this year. It was the first time that the mainstream media, which has so far denied involvement by foreign forces in this election, publicly reported this news.
What did Ratcliffe say about election fraud and interference?
Well, DNI Ratcliffe leads the 17 intelligence agencies, and he has access to the most highly classified information that is held by the U.S. government. And he told CBS News that there was foreign election interference by China, Iran, and Russia in November of this year, and he is anticipating a public report on those findings in January.
On the 17th, however, the National Intelligence Service suddenly tweeted, DNI was notified by Korean intelligence officials that the intelligence community will not meet the December 18 deadline because a number of agencies have not finished coordinating on the product. Due to this, the submission of related reports is expected to be delayed. What do you think about this? Thanks for watching. Your likes and comments. Be safe.